Yay! We did it.
Hi, friends. We're about 16 minutes past schedule, but that's okay. We're here.
In true Pisces fashion, baby. Yes. Okay. I am also live on my page, so we are good to go. Yay, we did it. We did it.
I just want to dance for a minute.
No, right? Let's just wait for all of our homies to hop on. I'm actually gonna switch this little guy so I can get some more light in here, but we are more than welcome to start initiating the topic. Oh, I see some friends are here.
I saw a lovely comment that said "sup bitches," and whoever said that, that's my jam.
Joelle is in the building. Oh, my Pisces brother. Yes. Yay. This is so exciting.
This is going to be such a vibe. I'm also tagging some more people. Hey, Jamie. Hey, girl. Hey, hey.
Love it. Yay. Karel found us on Facebook. Yeah, we were trying to do the whole Instagram thing. You know, it's just, you can't be scattered. Okay. We got to sometimes just stay focused. Okay. I'm so happy. I can't wait to see all of these gorgeous souls that hop on here. This is going to be such a powerful transmission. We have such an incredible, yes. Hi, Denise. Yay. Hi. Such an incredible, just, you know, we have a lot of things to talk about. It's December.
It's a special day. And it's December. Oh my God.
It's December 1st, 2021. We only got 31 more days left. Okay. So it's time. It's time. I saw a post today that was like, are we like hitting the brakes or just going full throttle for the last part of 2021? And I was like, what are brakes? What are brakes? Like, I don't know what that means.
I don't speak that language.
Right. I feel like today was definitely like, it's not so much just about even being in a car anymore. We're definitely in a spaceship. So we're totally blasting off. Today was such an eye-awakening day. We have so much magic in the air. So I wanted to talk about this from like an astrological perspective. I wanted to introduce Miss Emily Moon to my audience, for everyone who is from Emily's side. I also wanted to introduce myself to all of you guys because I am very, very, very just honored to be here and like just help as many people as possible understand the dynamics that we're in right now, because I just feel like this year was a little bit of like an in-between, right? We were kind of still grieving from 2020 and we were kind of picking up the pieces, right? But I feel like 2022 is like the Renaissance, and we are literally going to create so much art, so much magic. Like everyone's going to really like blossom into who they're meant to be, and like they're gonna awaken to their soul's purpose, and people are really going to discover so many incredible things for themselves this upcoming year. So I feel like we've kind of been in a little bit of an incubator period, right, to kind of like get warmed up and try to figure out like, what are we doing next? And now it's the time. Now is the time to really like declare like where we're headed and what we're doing and what we desire for 2022. So I wanted to talk about it from an astrological perspective and get you all excited, but also talk about the deep, beautiful healing that is going to come with that. It's always going to be complemented with the healing part of what needs to be let go of, what needs to be left in 2021, what needs to be, you know, detached, so that we can truly step into our infinite potential of what's next for us. So that's where Miss Emily Moon comes in, and we join forces.
Yeah.
And we talk about like what the collective is going to be moving through and what we're going to be healing through, and just the divine alignment of all of it. So yeah, Miss Emily, if you want to just introduce yourself, because I don't know if my audience knows who you are. And then of course I can introduce myself a little bit more.
Absolutely. Before I even do, I just want to share some images before they go. So the first thing you should know about me is I'm super, super psychic. Sometimes it's louder with vision. Sometimes it's louder with feeling. Sometimes it's louder with clairaudience and hearing. But as you were talking, I got such clear images and visions of the time that we've been in and where we're going. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. Oh, that makes sense. And just to share before I even introduce anything about myself, I saw almost like 1 foot in like old water and 1 foot in new water for kind of where we are right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, Karen.
Kind of like the temperance card in the tarot, like 1 foot in,
Yes,
1 foot out. Mm-hmm.
exactly. For those of us that I guess you could say speak tarot languaging, except in the image, I didn't necessarily feel it about balance. I felt it. As a Libra, I care so much about balance. I felt it in like we've had 1 foot in the door that's been very, like wounded and very hurt from, and very much carrying. I see like a person carrying a lot of weight from all the things that have happened from the pandemic period that we're still moving out of. I saw, like literal, like someone like working with like a bandage on them. And then what I saw when I tuned into the first glimpse of 2022 is I saw a baby being born, which is rebirth, which is literally the name of a thing I'm running. So I'm like, that's fitting.
Yes.
So hi, friends. Some of you know me very well. Some of you have never met me before. So I want to properly introduce myself. My name is Emily Moon, and I specialize in karma clearing. Yes, exactly, Jamie. And I run Moon Rising Circle, where it's all about, whether you understand what karma is or not, but you will by the end of this live, hopefully. It's about getting to the root of where your imbalances begin. Let me go further. We usually think that it's our fault. It isn't, or that we're, quote, unlucky, or that we can't have money, or that we can't have love, or that we always attract a certain kind of thing in our life, or that why is it that there's a big thing coming up about relationships. And anytime I'm channeling, it's for everyone watching. So whoever this is for, it's for someone that's here with us now. And also, if you see this later, please put #replay because it will be just as powerful. It could be that maybe you have this really complicated relationship with someone in your family or someone that you've loved, and you're like, why is this so complex? Why do I feel who am I channeling?
Or like they're being pulled back is kind of what I'm feeling. Like it's almost like they wanted to move on and they were just about to move on, and then they're like pulled back, and it's just like this yanking feeling that I'm
exactly. There's like this entrapment feeling, which relates to something that we'll talk about because that's actually part of a class I'm running. But no matter what it is, if you have a complex relationship with someone or something that you feel like you can't overcome, or certain repeat cycles or areas of your life that just seem harder than the rest, the very first thing to know is that there is nothing wrong with you. You are not broken. It is your karma.
Yes.
And that is where I come in, because my gift that, thank you, someone above gave me once I cleared enough of my own trauma is the ability to see, hear, feel, and know someone's karmic patterns, to find their karmic contracts, to find like literally the web that is them and all of the karma that they've picked up from other timelines and other traumas they've been through, which I hate to say it, but they stick with us until they are released. So my job is to find them and release them so that you can finally have the freedom to have a new reality. Whew. A lot of fire just came through as I said that.
Amen, girl. Amen. Yes.
That's me. There you go.
No, I love it. I love it so much because it's something that people talk about in terms of like, oh, it's like karma, what comes around goes around, or whatever it is, what goes around comes around, but they don't understand the layers of it. And so when it comes to like, I love the terminology of a cobweb, right? Because it's like sticky. Whoop, that's my light that falls on me sometimes. It's sticky, right? And when it comes to that piece, it's almost like, even when you feel like you've gotten some of it off of you, like when like, I'm almost feeling like a bugs are kind of crawling on you and you're like, where is it? Like, I thought this was done. I thought I was over this, right? You are the one that's like you just clear it all off, and it's like a polishing. That's kind of what I'm feeling like. For whatever reason, they're bringing me to like a car wash, and like, in the car wash when like, it's like that last spin off and then it like makes it all shiny. Like That's you. And then what happens? Your aura is now magnetic, your aura is illuminated, and now you are attracting this different vibration. You are on a different timeline. So it gets to be so much more powerful when you, like you said, get to the root of this cobweb and you just untangle all of these cords and all of these tanglements versus, oh, let me put a band-aid on this, or
No.
let me just, become aware of this and let me continue talking about this relationship and how I want to get out of it. And I don't understand why I can't. Like, the more you're just investing so much energy into it and feeling like I'm still in the same place, or if it has to do with relationship with money, I can't get ahead. I just keep continuing to just hit a wall. You are like, don't worry, girl. I'm going to bulldoze this down. I'm going to get to the root. And then you're going to rebuild, like you said, be reborn as this baby, like you're saying. It's from a new pair of eyes is kind of what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
And I love that so much because I just think that when it comes to, my perspective, right? So for those who don't know me, my name is Danielle Rosado, and I am an astrologer. I am a psychic healer. I'm a Reiki master. So I don't just look at astrology as like, let me see this and learn from like a textbook and like get all traditional with like the math of it. Like, that's cool. Like, some people like the more of the, I don't know. They like to study it differently than me. I'm just very intuitively channeled with the language of astrology. It's come to me. I've self-studied for years now. And now I'm really grateful, like you're saying with your gift, Emily, that from up above, for whatever reason, I just have a cosmic channel. It's open. I can see and sense when I'm around someone, especially when I'm very aware of what's going on in the current timeline and the current cycles that we're in. All of the planets also have their own karma embedded within them. The only thing about the planets that I can continuously say is that all they do is work off of a cycle and a pattern. And once you understand the pattern, you get to, as a human in this gorgeous world, have free will to break that pattern or repeat it. And I think that that's where Miss Emily Moon and I are just incredible together, because we can basically use our own individual genius. Honestly, that's really what it is. We have our own way of serving the collective. I do it through, let me show you in your chart what cycle you're in. Let me help you understand what your timeline is and what your patterns you were born with, right? It's just the karmic patterns that these planets and these signs were kind of providing for you. It's just like an energetic design. It's a blueprint. It's a map that you can at absolutely any time choose. I'm going to go left this time, not right. And you get to be the one to interpret what patterns you were born with in a higher light. It doesn't have to be like a punishment, just like I'm sure Emily can describe. These karmas are not your fault. It's just a piece of the bigger picture, and there's nothing wrong with you. And I never look at the karmic placements you were born with and tell you, oh, ooh, gosh, like I don't know if we're ever going to be able to fix this. This is something you're going to keep with you for the rest of your life. I will never, ever tell you that. And I will also say that a lot of, at least, astrology in like the 80s, when it was first really getting mainstream, a lot of it really was like a little bit negative. And I think that that's where people got a little turned off by it, because they would learn something about themselves and get scared and feel defeated and feel like, I'm never going to meet my person. I'm never going to have a happy home. I'm never going to be able to be successful in my career because I was born with certain placements that were karmically there and designed so that you can learn from them. You can understand your personal power to break them and to alchemize them. Honestly, that's what I do. I honestly help my clients learn the alchemy within their chart. It's like, yeah, this is a very karmic placement. And guess what? Look at the medicine that is available for you right now that you can heal and work through this. And then they feel so empowered and they're like, oh my gosh, there's possibilities. There's, different outputs that I can use. There's different options I have. So for me, I love to bring Emily Moon into the piece of this because I'm like, listen, I have no idea how to actually heal karma. It's not a gift that I have. I can just see it and perceive it for people through the lens of astrology. And I can perceive it through the lens of the cycles we're in with the current timeline. And then Emily's the one that's like, girl, I got you. And we get to just team up and help the collective as best as we can. So that's why we're here today, because I wanted to talk about what's going on, because we're in a very karmic cycle right now. And I wanted to also have my audience understand who Emily Moon is to me, because right now you're going to be my karmic healer. And it's going to be
excited.
So good. And I also wanted everyone to know from my side who you are, and if they were feeling the soul pull to work with you and also be like have you be their karmic healer, this is the chance. So today is definitely a very special day. So I'm going to let you just respond, and I want to see if there's any comments on my side.
Absolutely. So I'm very curious what Hannah wanted to post. She said she wanted to post a picture. I love you, Hannah. Hi. She's another badass healer. We got so many. There's something you said. I mean, there's so many things you said that stood out to me that I want to comment on. But one of the first is this whole like, once upon a time, not that long ago, there was someone that, I just met as a friend, and I was getting to know them, and they were like, oh, I'm so curious about what you do, Emily, but I'm super afraid. And I was like, let's talk about that. Let's go into that, because our fears are so fucking revealing. And like, some of us might get batshit scared, and that's okay. But our fears often show, I'm seeing all sorts of stuff right now. Whoa. They illuminate the things that we may be avoiding are probably actually some of the most important entrenched spaces to go. Whoa, that was like straight channel. Holy moly. Oh, there's a lot of feeling over here. Cool. I need some crystals. Anyway, so he was afraid because he was afraid of what it would mean about himself. And like you just said, and I get that. And guys, please know that there was a time when I was not spiritual. There was a time when I didn't know about any of this. There was a time when I was just Emily, and I was not an open channel and was not yet unlocked my healing gifts. And I just thought, hey, I must be really unlucky as heck with romance, relationships, and money. And I thought there's no way I'll ever make money. I'm just stuck to be poor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Purge all that.
I was going to say, I don't like my sage again.
I know. Sorry. Hello, 22-year-old.
Let it go.
Yeah, it's gone. Anyway, so guys, I'm so fucking excited for this convo. But the fact was, their knowledge is power. The more that you know about yourself as a soul, the better.
Yes.
And this is why, and like at this point, we're truly working with each other. And like, also, I hired Danielle to help me with the timeline of my offers. And that made such a massive difference, because so far the timeline's been dead on, my friend. It's been dead on energetically. But like you said, like, nothing is stuck. Okay. You might have one area of your life that's lit up as particularly amazing. And you might have one area of your life that, is like lit up as particularly difficult, or something that naturally is something for you to majorly overcome, such as the first thing I'm hearing is how you speak, how you're heard, how you're received, how people perceive you in the world. Maybe this comes in innately as a challenge, but there's nothing that you can't break.
Yes.
There's nothing that you can't change. There's nothing that you can't transform through. And
Yes.
karmic work gives us this power.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a complicated cobweb. I'm waiting for the day that I meet a phenomenal psychic artist who can take all the things I see and put it into paper. Hasn't happened yet. I'm manifesting him or her or they.
Yes.
And this would look like something that, hey, Cindy,
Hi,
that
Cindy.
you would have a karmic pattern here, which tied to something karmic that came from that, which tied to something that came from this, which came from a karmic contract to do with your grandfather, which came from this ancestral piece, which came from this agreement you made in another lifetime. I had a client who's on this, who I won't say who had 2 karmic contracts in one session the other day. And I was like, oh, baby.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah. Like, pardon for the high squealing, but it's just.
No, I love it. I love it.
I am definitely bitched. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say it's honestly the same way even when I am talking about just one of the placements in someone's birth chart. I'm not even talking about like Chiron, which is like so deeply karmic, like conditioning from their childhood, conditioning from possible past lives, just different things that even within their 12th house, if people aren't familiar with astrology, you have the signs, all 12 zodiac signs. You'll have all 12 houses, which represent different areas of your life. And if you have any planets, even in the 12th house or the 8th house, how ridiculously karmic those placements are. So I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about like any placement, right? Your Venus sign, your Mars sign, your Mercury sign. I could literally channel so many different pieces about just one of those placements, and they're all going to be accurate on some subconscious level. And that's kind of what I'm picking up of what you're saying. It goes so deep, because if you're talking about, the first thing I thought about when you were saying someone's voice, and if they're not able to communicate clearly or set boundaries or feel that they can be assertive in their life, or if they're a people pleaser, if maybe they're really shy and they've just been really quiet and reserved, but they want to be social, they want friends, they have a social anxiety. The first thing I thought of, because this is how my mind works, I'm like, oh, they probably have a Chiron and Gemini. That's like the first thing I'm thinking of.
I just realized this. I think I download karmic patterns and karmic webs, and you download the astrology. It's so cool.
1,000,000%. Yeah, absolutely.
So cool.
That's how it works, because like you said, knowledge is power. So the more that you dived into your gift, right, of like, okay, what is the pattern? Because that's really what you did, Emily. You understood, okay, there's different patterns of what people are struggling with and what people are just needing, right? Like they need help with, and they don't know the answers. And we get to help them discover those answers for themselves, but also understand, like, you have the power. Even after you, Emily, will do a karma clearing with someone, they have to continue to want to stay on the path, right? It's just like cutting cords, right? It's like, for me, how many times someone's like, oh, I want to cut this cord with someone. And I'm like, okay, listen, I can cut cords. Okay. I've been a Reiki master for 7 years. It's actually going on 8, which is crazy to me. And I'm like, listen, I can cut cords. I know how to do that. That's easy peasy. That's like, for me, that's kind of basic Pisces work. Like, I know how to do that. But at the end of the day, you have to want that. Are you sure that that's what you want? Because if you're not going to follow through with what you're asking for, then this karma clearing and this cord cutting is not going to mean jack shit. Okay.
Thank you.
So
thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I literally could not agree more. Okay, if I clear your, okay, so one of my biggest karmas I had to work through that made a huge difference in my financial story. For those who don't know, I went from under 2,000 a month to just hit a 35K month. Holy shit! And 40K in 30 days. And I'm so freaking proud.
So
insane. This did not happen out of nowhere. I had to massively someone said this. Oh, I have to share this because it was so good. Because someone wrote it as a comment. Someone's like, karma clearing is not what you think it is. It is an unfucking. And I was like, whoo!
I love that.
It is indeed an untangling. It's an untangling of old webs. So we haven't even spoken about any specific karma yet. So let's begin. One of them that my repeat clients know a lot about is, thanks, babes. So exciting. Pop the champagne, like all the Prosecco. Was failed self-provider and codependency orphan. I had it so ingrained in my own karma that I know, heavy, right? That I
felt it in my sacral chakra. I was like, oof.
Right? We're gonna spill this tea. It's all spilled. I fucking love you guys. That I felt that somebody else had to save me financially, that someone else should give me. I'm not kidding. I literally, all of me felt someone else should give me money. And so much of it came from, because I did look into this deeply, lifetimes where I had donors. I literally had donor dependency karma and things where it didn't matter if I, quote, made money because I was always taken care of by someone else. And then in this lifetime, this became I just saw a crutch. And it did. And I'll be totally transparent about this. For the longest time, it was, this is so hard to say, but I will say it. It was me leaning on my mother financially, who I had at that time a previously toxic relationship with, which, by the way, healed through me clearing our karma together and releasing the poison between us, which is the biggest gift, because now that relationship between the two of us is healthy and beautiful, and it took fucking 32 years.
Wow.
It's so worth it.
Yeah.
Through karma clearing, through healing, I did. But anyway, I was leaning on her financially because in all timelines, that's all I knew how to do.
Yes. Yes.
So I remember, like, when I finally had, like, found it and cleared failed self-provider, it was, I mean, I was bawling my ass off because this was such a big crutch. But don't think for I mean, yes, I did actually have a financial spike at that time, but don't think it was just oh, we've done this and no. You don't just clear your karma once and call it a day. You must constantly choose this different life. You must constantly choose the life that you're actually meant to have. You must constantly make decisions. This is all so channeled right now. Constantly make decisions from your higher self. My higher self doesn't want me to lean on my mother financially. Actually, my higher self wants me to give her financial freedom, which is a goal of mine.
Yes.
Okay? And we're getting there, friends. We are getting there.
Yes.
So you must choose to show up in the person that you want to be. And sometimes that means making very fucking uncomfortable choices for growth.
Yes. Yes.
We have to.
Yes.
Because like you said, if you, for example, another thing, if you were to like clear a cord between you and like a toxic ex, but and you choose, sorry, go. No.
I was going to say, and then you answer the phone when they call and then you go right back to the same place. Yeah.
Why are you working with me?
Don't want to do it. Trust me, it gets messier every single time. It continues to get messier. And it's going to continue to show up even like 10 times faster. It's not going to be like, oh, I'm going to be in a fantasy world for a little while longer. No, it's going to be like immediate red flag, immediate setback. And I'm telling you right now, this is so on time, this conversation, for what exactly we were just moving through. I would love for everyone to really like get to understand what I'm kind of sensing. Before I go there, just real quick, I do want to actually mention what you were saying in terms of like, it's one thing to acknowledge things, right? And like see things for what they are and understand. I want to cut the cord. I now I know what my karma is, right? So just like what you said, okay, it's codependency that goes like miles and lifetimes ago. Like it's so deeply ingrained. I could say that over and over again as often as I want, but until I do something about it, it doesn't mean anything, right?
Yes.
So it's the same thing with me and teaching someone about their chart, right? It's like, listen, astrology is just a bunch of information. It's all about you. So trust me, our egos love this shit. We're like, oh yeah, please tell me about me. I want to hear all about me, right? I'm sorry, but like our egos fucking thrive and feed off of astrology, because why not learn about your horoscope? Why not see what's going to happen with like our love lives and with our career and understand like our success timeline? Why wouldn't you? Okay. It's going to thrive with your ego. But at the same time, your soul needs to understand like you're already on this plan, right? Like this is a divine karmic plan. It's already in the stars, like they say, right? So it's up to you how you're gonna steer this, right? And so your ego kind of needs to hit the road because your ego is going to be attached to certain like placements and things I'm talking to you about. So if I'm telling you, hey, listen, Emily, you have, you know, first thing off the top of my head, I don't know where your Chiron is, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's Cancer. I have no idea. But, you know, just based off what you're telling me, I'd be like, listen, Emily, your Chiron's in Cancer. You're more prone to codependency, possibly with your mother, you know, all of these things. I'll tell you everything you just told me. And then I would explain to you different ways that you can help yourself and different practices and different tools that you can use so that you can shift this, heal this, and obviously move away from it, right? If you don't do any of that inner work, right? Everything I just fed to you is just more awareness. That's all it is. It's just more information. And will you remember it? Of course you will. But it's up to you if you are devoted to the work that's necessary to move past this and to break it once and for all, right? So, yes.
I just got a really cool download.
What?
Honestly, the clients, and I think you to say the same thing from what you just said, the clients that have the most changes, the clients that I've seen go, whoa, it is like a totally different person. And by that, I mean more true to you. Like the people I've seen skyrocket in life, it is because this is the image I saw, almost like Michelangelo and like carving out the sculpture. We are our own sculpture. We are our own, I don't want to say project, but we are our own work of art. Yes. Okay. So when this is like the difference, truly, like if we don't, you know, take that seriously or like half go in it, it's not that you're not going to have any benefit. You probably will. But the ones that go the furthest, the ones that with like the stories and transformations that shock me consistently, and even from like one karma clearing session and then to people that do full programs or sometimes multiple programs, they have the most success because they commit to themselves and the work and truly going the path. And I'm not saying the path is always going to be easy or simple or have no hiccups. That would be a bold-faced lie. Sometimes it's very challenging. And when you clear karma, I'm not going to lie to you, sometimes some crap is going to come up.
Of course. Of course.
And it's supposed to.
Of course. That's the whole point.
Right.
You're clearing.
You're clearing.
It's a cleanup. It's not going to be such like, you can't have a cleanup without seeing the mess. Like you have to see the mess so that you can clean it up. Like that's what I'm sensing. Anytime someone's telling me we're going to clear something out, it's like, okay, we're creating space. So we have to also be very mindful and intentional every single day of what did I just create space for? I need to come back to the reason why I decided to clear this space, because when I in any unconscious way resent this process or feel like this is too much or feel like I'm not ready, I fucked up, I wish I didn't do this, I want to go back, ignorance is bliss, this is too hard, this is too much, all at the same time, I'm overwhelmed. You need to come back to your why. You need to remember, what did you just do this for? And what are you working towards? We're not going backwards anymore, okay? 2021 is over, you guys. It's done. So what are we leaving in 2021 so that 2022 can be your best year yet? And you can understand the entire reason why you wanted this clearing in the first place. Because I feel like people get so stuck and caught up once it starts to get really mucky and scary and unknown, and they're like, oh no, what did I just do? Everything changed. Yeah, you're damn right. Everything just changed. You just declared your power and you stepped into a whole new timeline. Of course, everything's going to fall apart if you were out of alignment. And That's literally what I say all the time. And what you were just talking about, Emily, is so true about my clients. The only ones that are going to thrive, and I've seen it. I've literally seen it. Manifestations just instantly. They're like, Danielle, you told me to do it on this day, and I just made $50,000 off that workshop. And I'm like, of course you did. I told you that was going to happen that day. Why wouldn't it happen? And that's exactly what I did with Emily. Emily came to me. She's like, talk to me about the next 3 months. I want to know exact dates. I want to know exact what I'm supposed to do. I'm launching this. I'm doing that. I'm doing this. I'm like, yeah, do this. We literally planned out her whole November, and she just made $40,000 because I helped her understand what days to do what based off of her chart, because she's in alignment. She's staying in the flow. She's working with the rhythms of what's happening around her. So
can I tell you guys?
Now I'm getting really
great. I need to tell you guys a very funny story. It's very fucking true. When you're this plugged into alignment, because at this point, I've literally agreed as a soul to completely live in alignment, because if I'm going to teach it to you, I'm going to live by it. The second in what was it? September, October, I had a small sidestep, which could have been slightly out of alignment. You know what happened? A bird shat on my head. I'm not kidding.
I can't with you.
I started to say yes to something that I knew in my heart wasn't right, and then a bird shat on me, and I was like, no, it's a no.
You're right. You're so right, universe. I'm sorry. I deserve to get shit on that day.
You're right. So live in alignment. Don't have birds shitting on you, and make all the money that you're meant to make. And likewise, what happened? Can we share what happened to you when I cleared your karma in the last live?
Okay, listen to me, guys. All right, I can't even explain. I literally went live with Emily. She was like, let's do a live karmic clearing. We'll use you as the example. I saw the 222. I saw that. Yeah. There was also 22 people looking, and I saw the 2 people hearts. Anyways, so it's funny she just said that, because me and Emily have been working with 2s so much.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So much. Okay. So anyways, when it comes to that day, she cleared a karma of mine that was all about being the self-sacrificial provider. I think I'm saying that.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Right? Yeah. It was something like that. It was basically about me overworking and continuously feeling like I needed to be there for someone else and put myself on the back burner, right? Like not catering to my needs and not being there for myself, right? So she was saying this is the self-sacrificial provider, which is very aligned with my Pisces energy. I'm a Pisces sun. I also have a Pisces Mercury. It's in the 7th house, which is basically about one-on-one relationships. So once I'm in a friendship or a romantic partnership, or if I'm working with a client, boundaries are off the charts. I have to continuously remind myself that there are boundaries and that I need to take care of myself first. So I was explaining this to Emily, and obviously I know I'm not the only person in the world who struggles with boundaries, okay? If you are a warm-hearted, loving, generous, caring person who gives a shit about people, I'm sure that your boundaries are always crossed. And I'm sure that you've been taken advantage of a million times. And it's just because you wear your heart on your sleeve and you're a good person. That's all, okay? There's nothing wrong with you, I promise. However, we also have to remember we got to protect ourselves, and we also got to make sure that, especially as a business owner, I can't be, staying up all hours of the night, and I'm a psychic. I'm channeling for people. I don't just talk to people. I'm exhausting my third eye at all times. I gotta make sure that, I'm also protecting. I'm sorry. I don't want any spirits attached to me. I don't want anyone else's energy attached to me. I don't want any pain attached to me. I got to clear that out. And I'm very susceptible and vulnerable to other people's energies. And of course, I'm going to get anxious. Of course, I'm going to get exhausted. Of course, I'm going to burn out. Why wouldn't I if I'm not taking care of myself? So Emily was like, listen, we're going to cut this. Are you ready to nip this in the bud? We're done with this. And I was like, okay, fuck it. Let's do it. Tell me how she's channeling, deep childhood wounds with my father and all of these things about just codependency on a whole other level. And it's nothing new for me. I've been doing this inner work for a very long time. When people talk to me about my childhood, I also have a Leo moon, so I kind of laugh things off now. I'm like, yeah, that happened. And they're like, God, this girl went through a lot. And I'm like, yeah, I've been through a lot, but it's like, what are you going to do? You know, you have to just be on the optimistic light side of things. I can't drown in my shit all the time. And then I would never get anything done and I would never be of service to other people. So Emily, you know, nipped it in the bud. The very next day, I tell you, I woke up, Emily, because we're on different timelines. So I know this. I woke up and I was supposed to go to work that day because I have my full-time business, but I actually was still working at a weekend job for like false sense of security, but also because, of course, you know, I have a people-pleasing tendency and didn't know how to quit my job because I was afraid and felt guilty that if I quit, that the place was going to fall apart, basically. I just felt this desire to provide for something that's not my responsibility, that I was 1,000,000% sacrificing my energy, my body, my vitality, everything was completely out of alignment staying at that job. And I knew it. Again, my awareness was very high. And my intuition was like, Danielle, just quit, just quit, just quit. But I just had a people-pleasing tendency. So Emily was like, we're going to clear this karma. You're probably going to feel it for the next few days. Check in with me. And then when I tell you that the very next day I woke up and I was like, I'm not going to work today. I literally just decided, Emily, I was like, I'm not going to go to work. I don't want to go. Like it's not so much about rebelling. It was more just like literally the universe was like resisting, like you're not going, like you're not supposed to be there today. Just leave. And so when I tell you that I called out of my job and then the very next day after that, I went into my job and I was like, I'm putting my 2 weeks in. I'm not staying here anymore. And they just kind of knew, which is funny, Emily, I didn't tell you that, but they like already picked up on it. They're like, yeah, we had an idea. And so stop telling me stuff I got to hear. Yeah. So no. But when I tell you, Emily, that when I quit my job, I think it was like maybe not I don't remember the timeline, if it was like the very next day or like a few days later, that I got like 2 pay in full clients and like all of these things just started working for me. And I was like, Danielle, this is why. And then I had to just tell Emily, I'm like, when I tell you that you cleared my karma and the very next day I practically quit my job, like it was instant. I knew because my spirit knew, oh, that's what you needed. You just needed that space to feel confident, to say yes to what you already knew what you needed to do. It's not a question anymore. It wasn't that hard for me. It was just more of like a little push. So that's also something I want to kind of just mention in case anyone was like, I guess a little scared to clear their karmas because they, you know, have that fear of like, everything's going to fall apart before it gets better. And it's like, no, that's not true at all. If you are already in alignment, which I also teach my clients most of the time, you're more aligned than you think. It's your mind that's tricking you to think that you're not.
100%. And also there's a big thing I've learned over time with clients, which is that it's really important to take steps to integrate after karma clearing and to allow space for release. And so that's actually a huge change I've made to the most recent thing that I'm running is there's actually 3 steps of integration along the way to make it easier. And for those that don't know what integration is, this is allowing the changes to be in your body. Because sometimes up level can be a lot. If again, we're like you said, like we're jumping timelines. Like I jumped timelines financially multiple times over the last 2 years. And so I had to do a lot to integrate to allow that to be in my body so that it felt right for me rather than feeling out of place.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, absolutely. Well, that's the thing. It's the, to me, integration is just regulating your nervous system to feel safe with your body again. You know, it's just a process of like, okay, I know that I can speed things up, but some people genuinely need things to be a little bit slower for them to feel comfortable. So obviously when things are just suddenly rapidly changing, of course your ego is going to feel like, I have nothing. Who even am I? What just happened? Where am I? And you need to continuously recenter and come back to a sense of safety for yourself without attaching yourself to anything outside of you. Just like what happened during the pandemic. What happens when the world crashes one day? We have to continuously come back to what we have. And the only thing we have is ourselves, our spirit, our breath, our bodies. And then, of course, we have each other. But at the end of the day, it's like, really, like, this is all we got. You know, like, that's the only thing we own properly. What I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Firstly, I want to also say, I know that you and I we could talk for 5 hours. So know that there will be surprises at the very end, or at least there's a surprise from me of a piece of something I want to say. So it's worth hanging in there until the very end. I will say that. The other thing was, everything is divine for you. When you heal, it's, this is something that is for your highest good. It's very common for when I first bring up healing for people to go, I'm scared. And that fear often comes from a change or the fear of actually spending money on themselves outside of what would be the very basics, right?
Yes.
But you are worth it. That's number one. Number two, was the most powerful year of healing. Amazing. You are worth it. And I've lost my train of thought. It always happens when I look at comments.
I know. That's okay. It was a great comment.
Oh, it's meant for you. So if you're doing karma clearing and you're seeing things start to change, it's only because those things are not for you.
Yes.
Sometimes things actually hold us back that we've clung to as crutches because it's comfortable.
Yes.
I feel like somebody that I just said, someone probably just was like, ouch! I don't know who that was, but I felt like that probably rang home for someone. I'm curious if that person would want to share who. It's, you're only being led in the most divine path. And when I clear karma, I'm very, very specific. I'm specific about working with benevolent forces, benevolent, not ma. And I'm specific about for your, Pina, you crack me up, for your highest good. There is no change that would happen if it's not meant for your highest possible path. And I want to also, if you don't mind, quickly explain karma versus dharma. We kind of are getting to know that karma is all, the webs and the imprints and the patterns that are holding us back and holding us in a stuck reality and repeat loops that don't serve us for us to learn through. But your dharma is your soul path, is your soul power, is your dharma. I mean, for myself, fairly obvious, right? Healer, singer.
Yeah.
Person who's supposed to say things, sing things, use my voice upon the world. And this brings massive fucking change. So this was my soul dharma. And I've had all these karmas making it challenging, covering this up and being like, no, we're going to bury it over here. And as I've cleared, this has been able to rise and my dharma has been able to happen. And thus I've been more in alignment with my soul dharma and my soul purpose. And as I am, what happens? More love, more abundance. I moved into $1 million home in Notting Hill. Holy shit. I made 40 fucking K over 30 days and a 35K November. Oh my God. In cash, by the way, not sales. Oh my God. And this is just the beginning. And I had a good friend move into my house downstairs for 2 months. I feel like I just accidentally manifested that because I cleared things around not wanting to be alone. And suddenly there was someone around me.
Yes.
You've got to trust the process.
Yes.
You must trust the timing. There's a beautiful message. I think maybe this person's still online that I've not replied to yet that asked me about time. And this is not exactly the answer to that specific question, but I will say this. Sometimes I've seen people have amazing experiences after their first karma clearing, like you. And I've had other people report the same. I actually once had someone down to the hour to the day of results. And I was like, cool. Damn. But I've also seen it be over time. The biggest changes happen over time. So actually, Danielle, you might think that particular karmic piece of the web has only that one piece. What
Oh
if
yeah.
they keep going?
Oh, it
So
keeps going. Yeah. Yeah, there's things I haven't shared. But yeah, no, for sure. It's gonna keep going. It's gonna keep
I
going.
want to also partially answer the message about time now, even though it's not a DM.
Yeah.
And that is this. It's not that there's a specific karma around feeling peace around time, but when you do enough karma clearing, that need, that hunger around having things be, and I think I understood this at least from briefly glimpsing it, right now, right this way, does actually eventually fall away. I know because I used to have a huge thing about time and pressure of time. I must make money with this timing. I must meet my husband with this timing. I must move to. It's in divine time. And the more you heal, the more you learn that certain things are elastic. Money's elastic. Time's elastic.
Yes. Yes.
It can be 3 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
It could be much longer, but it could be it could be one day.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's my vent on time.
No, I love this. I have so many different. It's so interesting you're mentioning time right now because if I'm okay, I really do want to talk about what's happening right now,
Oh, yeah.
and I also want to talk about the derived from the karma versus dharma because I, of course, was like, wow, I never saw it this way, but it's very connected with what I'm going to be speaking with you guys today. So, first of all, let's just talk about time real quick. It's just interesting because when we're talking about time, the first planet I'm thinking of is Saturn, right? Saturn presents this sense of time. It's the ruler of time. It's because there's like structures and discipline and like, you know, order when we're talking about time, right? It's very linear, okay? But obviously we know time is a man-made construct. It's not real, okay? It's genuinely not, there's no such thing as time and space. And I think healers like us can definitely identify when we're working with energy, there's no such thing as time and space. When we're going into these different dimensions and different lifetimes, where are we actually? Like, there's no such thing as time and space. So when I'm thinking of time in the sense of what's happening today, I think it's funny because today, Neptune is in Pisces. It's been in Pisces for quite some time, and it's going to stay there because Neptune's a very slow planet and it likes to stay in one place for a very long time. So it's going to chill in Pisces. It's not going anywhere. But Neptune in Pisces is basically the ruler of saying that there is no such thing as time. And so it's interesting how we just had a retrograde period from June 25th. And I would really enjoy and invite everyone to reflect back on the day, maybe not remember the exact day. If you can, that would be really cool. If you're a person who journals, or if you're a person who wants to go back into like maybe your Facebook memories or like your Instagram archive or anything like that. Sometimes that's what I like to do if you're someone who posts a little bit more consistently and see what was happening in June for you. Because what's that?
I moved here.
You moved here in June? Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I moved to this house in June.
I love that. So yeah, so June was the month that a lot of other things were happening too, because we always have to remember the other planets are in aspects to this, but Neptune came into its retrograde position on June 25th. And then it stayed retrograde all the way up till today. Okay. So what does that mean? When a planet is retrograde, everyone's familiar with Mercury retrograde, right? Like we've at least heard that in some regard, whether you know about it, what it means or not. But when a planet's retrograde, it's basically bringing more of an inner reflection. You're kind of going inward to do inner work, and you're asked to really think about the things that need to be healed, let go of, restructured, and you're just kind of in like a revision phase, right? You're revising things. So now that Neptune, this planet that rules our subconscious, it rules our healing, it rules our energy, it rules our psyche, it rules our ability to see things for what they really are, our personal awareness. Neptune rules our dreams. So if your dreams have been very vivid lately, then I'm sure that you've definitely been like seeing like messages or symbolisms or signs come to you. If you're someone who likes to meditate, I'm sure that like you've been really like getting downloads and like creative ideas and just all of these like new insights that have been coming to you. It's because Neptune is now out of retrograde today, and we are basically having like this veil lifted and this newfound clarity of who we are. So this entire time for the last 6 months, I'm sure you've been discovering a lot of new things about yourself, about the world, about your environment, about where you're at. And I'm sure that a lot of that, like what we've been discussing, probably hasn't even been that comfortable for you. I'm sure that there's been a lot of things that you had to face and acknowledge that maybe you've been avoiding, that maybe you had to like see, and because you've been putting the blinder spots for so long, you've been trying to procrastinate it, put it off, repress the feelings, distract yourself. Maybe you're someone who like goes to different vices and you just rather like smoke or drink or do something to get your mind off of it, to numb it out, to not basically look at it in the face. This has been the last 6 months for all of us. It's not just for one person. This is for the collective. Okay. So what's happening today is you're definitely being asked to reflect about that time. But again, looking at how fast things have healed, how fast things have changed, or if you are in the same place, being a little bit curious of like, where have I been avoiding something? Where have I been just not looking at what the root of the problem is? Or where have I been stuck in the same cycle, but I deeply intuitively know something needs to change? So right now, because Neptune's staying direct, it's not going anywhere. It's not retrograding anytime soon. This is honestly your time to really come into your awareness and come to your personal power and choose differently. And if it is something that you're like, I've been doing so much healing work, oh my God, like I let go of so much and so much has happened. This is the time to celebrate yourself and to keep going. And this is basically the time to show you, like, listen, like we said, time is not real. You can either in 6 months completely radically change your life and everything can look different. Just like me, I went from back in June. I think June was my first 10K month, Emily. June was my first 10K month. I'm a little baby entrepreneur. I know I've just, I basically this year was like, listen, I'm full-time astrology. I am an astrologer. I declared it. I was like, I used to be more focused on like healing and, Reiki and chakra balancing. And all of that is still very much a part of my work because I work with energy. It's a part of my language. But now that I went full-time astrology and I finally got really clear on who I am, how I help people, who I help, the different offers that I can do and how I can combine all of it together, I did that in the last 6 months. And I've been having consistent 5 to 8K months ever since. And I remember June was my first big month. And I was like, wow, it went from 0 to 100 real quick. And that was when I really understood there is no such thing as time. If you start getting into the alignment, like I said, there is no such thing as time. You're in 6 months, everything can look different. So I want to say thank you so much for everyone cheering me on. I love that so much. I want to say that when it comes to today, from this point forward, especially even on Friday, 4:44 my time, I've been working with hours too, so I'm just going to take a second. Thank you. So when it comes to even this Friday, depending on your time zone, I don't know where everyone's from, but Friday night to Saturday, basically, we are going to be having a solar eclipse, and solar eclipses are also very karmic. Okay, so we have a very karmic week. We're in it right now. We're basically like in a portal of different timelines right now. Okay, so this Friday, I want to talk to you about this, Emily, because I'm going to tie this with your work and it's going to just align so beautifully. This solar eclipse is the last eclipse cycle from the last 18 months. So now I'm going to give you a different day, and I would love for you to reflect on where you have changed and how you have completely radically changed your life since May of 2020. Okay?
Oh, whoa.
May of 2020. Because we were on a karmic cycle that is the ecliptic cycle. It's based off the nodes of the moon. So I want everyone to follow me, because I'm not a person who's going to just give you like different mumbo jumbo words and not explain it to you. So I hope you allow me to just take a second to just kind of break it down so that they can understand. The eclipses of the moon, okay, are based off the North Node. And this is where I'm going to tie in the karma and the Dharma. And it really, like, I never thought of it this way, but it's really cool to think of it this way. The karma is the South Node, okay? So the South Node is the past. It's what we've outgrown. It's what we're really comfortable with, but it's the energy that we need to move out of, okay? So the South Node, the karma for the past 18 months has been in Sagittarius. And guess what Sagittarius represents? It represents travel. It represents freedom. It represents education. It represents your ability to explore, right? And go to new places and do things on your own time and be independent. So the karma has been basically transforming and being asked to, like, we had to let things go. We had to, like, completely release our attachments in that area, which obviously since May of 2020, travel restrictions, lockdowns, you know, education has, you know, was basically shut down. Like, people were working from home and learning from home, and there was homeschooling and all of those things that were going on, right? Our freedom was basically taken away from us in a lot of regard, right? So we had to learn and alchemize that karma so that we can step into our Dharma, right? And our Dharma for the past 18 months was in Gemini. And Gemini is what we're calling the North Node.
Leslie's in the building.
Sorry, I was trying to comment.
I was like, oh God, what are we doing? So you're so funny. So when it comes to our Dharma for the past 18 months, we were being asked to step into Gemini. And Gemini is all about, there's a lot of things about Gemini, but one of them is learning different ways of being curious of what's really happening. What is the truth of the world? What is the truth of the collective? What is the truth in the situation? I'm not going to learn through articles and the news and the media. I'm going to learn through what I deeply feel for myself, my intellect. I'm going to use my logic here. Okay. And I'm also going to be able to learn through other people. People came together, right? People helped each other. People teamed up, and people, like, came back to their resources of who they have in their life, not what they have in their life, right? So that was a huge piece of what we've been working through. So obviously, when it comes to this Friday's very karmic day, this is in Sagittarius. It's a new moon in Sagittarius. So this is basically the last piece, the last remnants of what we need to release and let go of. And depending on where these placements are in your chart, because everyone's very unique and everyone's very different. So depending on where Sagittarius is in your chart, and if you have any planets in there, and if you have any planets or placements like where Gemini is in your chart, those are the areas of your life that you've been growing out of and being asked to move into. That is where you have been maturing into and trying to master that energy more, okay? For the past 18 months. Now, Friday is basically asking you, wherever Sagittarius is in your chart, we need to release it. We need to let it go one last time. So if anyone on this live is like, I have no idea, okay, I will definitely invite you. I will give you a resource, a link. I can put it in the comments, right? Can I chat in here? I don't know if I can.
I don't know if you can. I've been typing Moon Rising Circle. I don't know if maybe you type it on your profile if you've been following that. I don't know if we actually can.
Okay, it's no problem. I'm just going to see if it works if I do this. But it's basically just a... Oh, yeah, it worked.
Oh, how'd you do that?
It's just a website. I did it on my Facebook. It's just a website that you can pull up your chart and you can see for yourself. You're going to find Sagittarius, and then it's going to be on the outside of the wheel. And then you're going to look, you're going to zoom in on the inside of the wheel. You'll see numbers. So wherever Sagittarius is, I would love for you to DM me, tell me what is the number that you see, and I can help you understand what area of your life that is so that you can see this is the focus area of what I've been moving out of and letting go of and detaching from for the past 18 months. And this is like the last hurrah on this weekend, that if any karmic fated events show up for you this weekend, you can understand and be aware of it and see it for what it is. And you're not going to be blindsided. You're not going to be steered off course. You're not going to be knocked out of alignment. You will absolutely know, oh, okay, I knew that was coming. I saw that happening. And you can be better prepared for what may happen this weekend for you. Okay. So please, please, please DM me if you are curious about learning this for yourself, because this is exactly what I'm here for. This is what I do. And this is the work that I feel, Emily, you are going to really help people. Like, this is why I feel like me and you just have to continuously team up.
Amen. Amen.
Because it's like, you are going to notice people are going to come to you with specific karmas and specific things that they're looking for help with. And then I would just be like, oh, that's because it's in their fourth house and it had to do with family and ancestral karma and their mother and their parents and their childhood. And it's just so aligned every single time.
If you can, while I explain a few bits, if you want to type those instructions, I found it a bit fast to follow. So maybe if you could type them for everybody. I think it's no accident, right, that what I'm channeling with your karma, what we're clearing with karma as a group, what tarot cards show, what your astrology charts show, is all the same message at different times, right? So we would be crazy not to follow this incredible roadmap of what astrology can give you, of what Danielle can give you, of what the karma clearing can, like, again, knowledge is power. Find the pieces and then we release it. So I just think it's so cool that that what you know with astrology and everything that you can channel with astrology lines up perfectly with all the things we're clearing, lines up perfectly with, like, if you get a tarot card pull, like, it's never different. It's always like, it's changing over time, but it's always like the same message at the same time. I hope that makes sense. And that just blows my mind, and I hope blows everyone else's mind as well. Also, really cool timing based on the things you said. I will share that my first ever program launch was May 2020.
Oh, wow.
And then,
really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I know. And I launched Clear 1, the first Clear program, the Clear the Foundation program. Like the big, there was this is so wild, okay? And yes, as mentioned, we've been working together for like the astrology for my launches, but get this, guys. You mentioned the eclipses and all the changes possible with the eclipses now. And also to say, if you've been listening to a lot of my lives as well, like when, oh no, when
you fell asleep. We're fine. This is fine.
Eclipses give us such a fantastic opportunity to quantum leap that would be crazy not to take it by clearing our karma. But get this, when I did Clear 1, there was a free 3-day mini karma clearing process, 3 days, a mini program, and so to speak, called Who Am I? This was on June 24th, June 25th, June 26th. Guess what? You're doing the same thing with different karmas. December 2nd with me, December 3rd with me, December 4th with me. We're beginning on Thursday.
Yeah.
And what we're doing inner child. We're doing the voice. We're doing our inner power to kickstart what? To clear the revival of, the sequel of Clear, the most insane program I've ever made, which is all completely dedicated to clearing your karma. And somewhere here I have a clear necklace on. Somewhere amidst the tangle. I don't know if you can see. It's somewhere here. But the whole thing, totally can't see.
So cool.
It's tiny. The whole thing is about clearing as much karma as we can to make space for the life, to make space for the manifestations you actually want. And we're starting it in January 2022. There's 2 things starting in both of the things we're doing is starting in January 2022. Like, there's such a massive opportunity to have massive change between what you're offering and between what I'm offering. So we have Clear Reborn from me. And you want to explain a little bit what you're doing?
Yeah, no, for sure. I would love that. So yeah, everybody, what I'm doing is I'm actually going to be running a year mastermind that's going to give you a chance to work with an astrologer in your back pocket for the entire year. And I'm going to be having Emily be a guest speaker in that gorgeous experience, because every month I'm going to basically introduce you. You got to understand, this is the age of Aquarius, my loves. We're not doing things by ourselves anymore. I am very much a person who believes that I didn't succeed just by myself. Like, absolutely, was it me who did it? Of course. But I have a network of incredible, powerful healers, business coaches, the best of the best in this industry, that I am very blessed and grateful to say that I know and have, like, in my back pocket, and that have helped me along my journey to basically revolutionize my business and become the business owner that I am today. So when it comes to each month of this next year, I'm going to teach you all of the different ways that you can use all of the components of your birth chart piece by piece, so that you can be in alignment and so that you can understand all of the different healing and manifestation properties of each planet in your chart. And it's also going to give you an enhanced healing experience with all of the people I'm inviting in. So like I said, each month you're actually going to be receiving 3 different workshops. One of them is going to be the Astrology Workshop, where I'm going to teach you all of the different ways to use one of the planets in your birth chart each month. So we'll talk about Venus in February, Mars in Mars in March. Like, it's going to just go one at a time. So you can start really talk about integration and embodiment. You could really start understanding what each piece means: the sign, the house, and the planet. Okay. And within that, like I said, I'm going to have a guest speaker experience. So Emily's going to be in actually for Scorpio season, because she's going to do a live karmic clearing in the group when we're talking about Chiron, which is a very karmic charged planet. Or it's not really technically a planet, it's an asteroid. But within that, I would love for you to understand on an even deeper layered level why that karma has shown up for you, not just through what Emily is doing, but also through understanding it within your chart, and how this pattern may continuously show up for you, and in what area it may show up for you, and when there's different cycles. Because remember, it's not just about your birth chart, because that happened already, right? That was years ago. We're talking about when the planets are crossing and transiting and orbiting around your chart. If anything's going to be impacting that placement for you, what days that may show up, and how to feel prepared for that. So it takes it a step further. Emily is going to be able to help clear it, but I'm going to be able to teach you, these are the days that it may show up for you. Be prepared so that you can understand, I have personal power that day and I know what to expect. So you're going to definitely feel so aligned with the days, the weeks, the months, the whole year for your personal goals, and on top of all the incredible healing within that. And it's only $222 per month, which is like one of the biggest steals I think I've ever offered. It was actually a Black Friday deal. And then I was like, you know what? I would love as many beautiful souls who are just curious about not just astrology, but curious about how to feel more embodied in who they are and illuminate the magic in you. I would love for you to understand your superpowers, your voice, your way to channel your message. Like, what are you here to do? Can you feel more aligned with your purpose? Can you feel more aligned with what you are healing? When to heal it, why to heal it, how to heal it. Like, it gets to be so much more easier for you when you have this knowledge. And I'm going to be breaking it down month by month. And then, I'm sorry, I didn't mention the third workshop is basically just going to be a full moon ceremony where we can come together. That's a little bit more just for like sharing, Q&A, card pulls, the witchiness. I like to do candle magic. I like to set intentions together and just support one another so that we could feel like we are a part of something bigger, and it's not just me talking all the time, even though I love to talk, but I also love to listen. And I want to hear from you. And I want to see if there's any way that I can support you further. So that's what that's for. So like I said, it's only $222 per month. And Emily's going to be in there. And I have so many other amazing healers, just maybe not just like Emily, but definitely, you know, we're all connected. I know Desiree's in there, Emily. So is Andrea, which you already know. Yes. Powerhouses, girl.
My best friends, guys. My best friends are all
powerhouses. Yes.
I love it, guys. Yeah, a year with that and Clear Reborn is a damn good year.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be in Clear Reborn. So
yeah. Oh yeah, let's talk about that too. So I'm going to start to talk about Clear Reborn. I mean, some of you already, of course, know about it, and some of you are already in it, which is phenomenal. We have 27 people in Clear Reborn so far. Like, holy cannoli, because that's 27 people who have decided to say fuck you to their karma and actually open up to the life that they're meant for. And every time I tune into this, I just get hit with just like this beautiful feeling of, I can't think of a better word. I'm sorry. Of love, of just like,
yes.
It's when I looked up and I saw some of my numbers, 1001. Yeah. It's so unbelievably beautiful to tune into, because as Clear grows, as more people clear their karma, we are spreading healing on such a, I'm going to say global level, because both of our businesses are international. And because every single person, I've said this before, I'll say it again, when you clear your karma, other people in your family heal too. Yes. So we're literally like changing the world of healing.
Changing the world.
Which is insane. So can you drop the link to your year-long amazingness?
Of course.
I'm so honored to be a part of it. So what is the secret that I wanted to share? It is this. Technically, Early Bird has ended. The price of Clear Reborn has gone up. I also will talk about more of what it is in a second. But for anyone watching this live, if you've seen this particular live and you DM me the code, I'm going to make you a code, Danielle.
Yay, I get a code. I love codes.
If you DM me the word Danielle before the end of the night,
that's me.
That's you. Final shot to get Clear Reborn for the early bird pricing, because it's actually gone up 700 since. So this is really, really phenomenal. So if you want to potentially do still Clear Reborn, which I will explain in a second, DM me Danielle. So
that's me.
What is Clear Reborn? What is Clear Reborn? It is 8 karma clearing classes. And everybody should be in the free classes that are December 2nd, December 3rd, December 4th. You literally have all the Zoom links in the Moon Rising Circle group in the cover photo. There's no excuse not to have them. I will also put the opt-in for Goddess Rising, because that's what it's under. Because everybody, I think probably everyone in my group is there, but those that are on your profile might not be. So anyone that's just finding me and is new, join us December, or join everyone that's doing this. December.
Me and all my guides.
Join me and all my ancestors.
It's a party.
I mean, literally, it's a crew. Yeah. It's a fam. December 2nd. Oh my God, tomorrow. Holy shit, tomorrow. Tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday for 3 days of free karma clearing. I also want to say, even for those of you that have signed up for Clear Reborn, do not underestimate the power of these 3 days. The last time we did this, it actually was a full experience for people. So is it anywhere near the same number of karma as I'll clear in a paid program? God, no. But will you get a massive effect still? Yes.
I'm excited.
So even though December 2nd through 4th doesn't cost anything, pay attention to it the same way you would if you paid money for it. That is my best advice for you. That plus Clear Reborn plus what you're offering, whoo, nuts.
Yeah, we're just changing the world. Basically. Blast off.
Like, side note, I love that you mentioned the thing about space, because guys, you know what I did this last weekend? I went to a sober rave and the theme was space.
I freaking love that so much.
It was so fun. I had like silver glitter all over my face.
All the glitter, always. You need every ounce of glitter. Yes.
I'm obsessed.
Yeah, no, for sure. You guys, I'm just gonna add one little piece of how aligned Emily's work is for Clear Reborn. Like I was talking about with the karma and dharma of what we are officially now ending this 18-month cycle. The next 18-month cycle is going to be Taurus being the dharma, being the north node, being what we are being asked to master and step into, which has to do with our sense of wealth, security, comfort, our pleasure, our luxury, right? We're stepping into that. And we are releasing and letting go of all of Scorpio energy, okay? And Scorpio is the most karmic sign there is. And Scorpio has a lot of unconscious fears and, you know, just like that tower moment that needs to happen. Like there's a lot of transformation. There's a lot of sorry, now I'm channeling. There's a lot of like limited beliefs that are not even yours. They're not yours. So I'm just kind of like feeling like there's like a pile of clothes, right? And half of the clothes aren't even yours. Like, it's like you're just piling on more shit to put away. And it's like, that's what Scorpio energy for the next 18 months, starting on January 19th until I believe July of 2023. Wow. We're going to be asked to step away and detach from basically everything that we've been piling on top of one another. Let it go and truly trust in ourselves and our personal power to rise like the phoenix out of the ashes. Let us burn down everything that's no longer in alignment and let us rise again. Okay.
Yes.
So Emily Moon obviously is doing this karma incredible program. Okay. Right on time. And that's exactly why I joined, because I was like, okay, I know exactly where Scorpio is in my chart. I know exactly where it is. Scorpio for me is in my 4th house of family, ancestral lineage, has a lot of childhood wounds, has a lot of things that I'm codependent and attached to, and I'm very well aware of it, and I've been working through it and healing through it. But I know Emily's going to take me to my next step, because my Dharma, my Taurus, is my midheaven. It's in my 10th house of career. It's my legacy. I'm here to build an empire. I'm here to change lives. Okay. So when it comes to this sense of feeling worthy of receiving luxury and being embodied in pleasure and being that empress energy, best believe I am going to do all that I can to cut the cords and release this baggage that I've been carrying with me all my life. And I am stepping into my purpose as the embodied, worthy, wealthy leader that I am destined to be. So when Emily is going to be showing up for me in January and releasing all of this, and I'm definitely going to have a massive ego death, and I'm fucking ready for it. Let's go. Let's go.
So fucking happy that you're in Clear Reborn.
And then at the same time, I'm going to be helping and healing everyone within my program. And it's just going to be a ripple effect of healing for generations to come. This isn't just about us, you guys. I know our egos like to believe that it's about us, but It's not about us. It's about my mom. It's about my family. It's about everyone in my life that I care about and love and want to just continuously take care of. The only way I'm going to be able to take care of them is if I'm doing what I need to do to heal and to cut and release this karma. Okay?
Fucking men. I don't even think I can say it better than that. That was so perfect. That was well done.
Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you.
Talking almost an hour and a half, and it's felt like 5 minutes.
I know, that's 1, 2, 3 right now, and I love that so much.
Damn. Yeah. So well said. Literally, like, we owe it to ourselves. Every single person that you meet
Amen.
Will have a better life if they're in touch with a more, healed way of life. Every single person, the person you meet in public transit, your aunt, your uncle, your mother, your father, your relationships, our relationships will actually stand, you know, a chance of being healthy and long lasting if we are not carrying old karmic baggage with us, like unnecessary suitcases that we brought on the train.
I wish you would have seen me. I lived in Thailand for 6 months, Emily. I wish you would have seen how big my suitcases were. I had 2 of them. And I literally was like, why did you do this? Like this was, so that just reminded me of that image. So I'm sorry.
I love it. When I moved over here, I had like 4 gigantic suitcases, traipsing this around Germany and trying to get to London. And like, for those of you who don't know, I'm clearly an American. Like, it still shocks people. Like, by the way, can I just say the British are always like, you're American. What are you doing here?
They know. They know.
They do. And then they're like, ooh, what a sexy accent. And I'm like, really? I mean, okay.
So good.
I digress. Anyway, like yes, stop paying for the, that's a super good one.
Stop paying for all that.
Okay, I need to harp on this for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, do it. Go for it.
The price that it is to keep living in the way you've been living, if you haven't been clearing your karma, costs way more than any fucking program I will ever goddamn make.
It also costs you more time. You're just wasting time.
I'm sorry, but this had to be said. Stop wasting your time with old self, with old karma, with old baggage, with old pain. Stop wasting your time and your money with old rejected bride karma, with old orphan karma, with old failed financial provider karma. Your like the amount of potential that we all have to live like the most amazing, aligned, incredible life is unfucking limited. The money will come back, but you need to fucking be your best self. You owe it to be your best self. I don't want to say need. Need's the wrong word because it is a choice. Mm-hmm. It is a choice.
Yes.
It has to be a choice.
Yes.
But as you become your most aligned self, again, you literally touch someone else in their life to begin to heal the things that have stuck with them always. Mm-hmm. 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 Healing spreads healing. Love spreads love. Mm-hmm. Pain spreads pain. Let's stop. Please stop spreading pain.
Ooh.
Okay? And I'm gonna make it a little bit. This is coming hot.
You're like on another level.
I don't know where I just went. Well, I don't even know if this is
that
like
was the darkness. That's the darkness because you gotta be the light, girl. You gotta be the light. I know.
You're so chill right now, and I'm like, thanks.
No, because I like got an image of you just. like the darkness was like coming around you and you're like, no, like I'm not doing it anymore.
I'm not kidding though. I'm not gonna lie. When I'm clear, like in the massive, okay, also to say in my free examples of karma clearing, we're clearing like 5, maybe 8 karmas. In Clear Reborn, we're gonna be clearing like 50, 70, 100, 120 karmic patterns.
So good.
It's a fucking wild ride. I literally feel like a karma ninja, like just up in here and like I'm not kidding.
Like the oranges just cut in half.
Let's get the sword. But like the amount, like everyone I meet in Moon Rising is just so incredible. Also because they allow themselves to be so honest and so vulnerable about the really hard shit that they've been through. And a lot of these hard things they've been through have come from some parent mistreating them because their parent mistreated them, because their parent had this karma, because
it keeps going.
Stop.
It keeps going. It stops with you. It stops with you. That's exactly what it happens. I was literally just talking about this with my mom the other day when I told her I invested in this program. I was like, Mom, I did something for us, just letting you know. And I told her that I was like, listen, it stops with me. Best believe when I'm a mother and I have children,
oh my God,
the karma is going to be very different. Okay. Don't get me wrong. They're going to have to work through their karma. Of course, it's not just me, but at the same time, when it comes to how I am choosing to heal myself and my world, like everything I'm doing and how I'm approaching things, it stops with me. They will not have any, like, Emily, I didn't even tell you. Sorry. I'm just going to say it real quick. I mean, oh, no, you do know this. You do know this. A part of my karma, right, that I've been clearing with the Sagittarius energy is that I saw you embodying Archangel Michael with your sword. I love that. Yes. Is that I was meant to think about my idea of what is leisure, what is fun, what do I do for fun, what do I do in my free time. And since I'm a Pisces, I do have a tendency, or I used to have a tendency to escape and to drink and to, do these more self-sabotage patterns. I have been sober since end of September. And when I tell you that I literally have zero desire to go back, like there's nothing in me that feels like I want to do that again. I'm not telling you I'm going to be sober for the rest of my life, because it just kind of sounds like a lot of pressure that I don't need to put myself under. But when I tell you that I just don't have a desire to do it, that's freaking huge for me. Okay. So this pattern and this karma that lives within my family of addiction and just self-sabotage and emotional abuse and abandonment caused by just massive amounts of alcoholism and just all types of things that run in my family, best believe it's stopping with me. Okay.
So fucking proud of you.
It's a choice. Sorry. It's a choice. No, thank you. It's a choice. And would I be able to do those things if I didn't go to people like you and continue to do the deeper work that's needed? I needed to continue to see, Danielle, you're doing it again. You're distracting yourself. You feel like shit every single time you drink. Why are you doing this to yourself? What is the intention of doing this? And I'm sitting here it's the only thing I know to take the edge off. And it's no, that's bullshit. Come on now. And then really I was like, no, I'm choosing otherwise. So stops with me. And this is just one of the many things that you've helped me with the karma clearing. I'm sure it was. I'm sure that was a part of it. How could it not be? It was right. It was right around the same time.
I am so proud of you. I'm ridiculously proud of you. And also interesting, I think I've said this on lives too, I've also not been feeling the call to drink lately either. And I used to drink a lot. Like in grad school, I'm not going to lie, I was a bit of an alcoholic. I drank a lot.
Yeah.
But lately, I find myself at sober parties and sober raves because the energy's nicer. I'm not saying I'm never going to drink either again too. I think probably around Christmas I might. New Year's I might. But I'm learning I'm having a whole lot more fun being completely a clear channel. My energy's better. My psychic channel is better.
So much better.
I feel more vibrant. Why would I want otherwise? But anyway, this is not about whether a person should drink or not drink, but just to say I'm so proud of you. And you're absolutely right. And God, if I think about my own family stuff, there's a lot of judgment that ran in my family. There's so many abandonment wounds and unloved wounds. And that was some of the first stuff I had to massively work through, which was beyond painful, so many tears, rejection wounds. I mean, I can see so much change within my mother and her happiness from the work I've even done. You're absolutely right. Because if I am ever a mom, same, I will not spread pain. You better believe I'll be teaching them healing techniques.
Yes, at a young age too. Yeah. A little psychic around. Be so
I would love a baby psychic.
Girl, you can think you can have a baby without it being psychic? Come on now. What are you talking about?
My future child's gonna be reading me.
Just a whole team.
My team can read me. I've done so many karma clearings with my team that they can now read me.
I love that.
It's so cool. I think one of them was on this live. A few of them. It's just really, really cool. Oh, that's another thing. If I haven't said this, as you clear your karma, every single person in Clear Reborn is going to be like, whoa, the psychic dial just got turned up massively. This is a natural side effect of it. I love this about it. because again, we're clearing the baggage, and so the space for your third eye and your crown to actually be as open as it's meant to be actually finally starts to happen. So yeah, for those that came on late, if you've not signed up for Clear Reborn yet and you're feeling the pull, if you're in Danielle's audience and you're feeling the pull, send me a message. Let's chat. And the code word is Danielle. And what is the code word? I love making you a code word. I'm also obsessed with code words. The code word allows you to have until midnight from this one live, the early bird pricing that ended, which is a tremendous opportunity. But as I said, honestly, clearing your karma is priceless.
Yes.
Period.
Period. Yay. This was so much fun. So many gorgeous people that joined us today.
Yes. Oh my God. And thank you to the 16 people that have been on this whole time. You are phenomenal.
So good. So good. Yes. 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 So, okay. Well, do you want to wrap it up?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. So when it comes to, I don't think we need to stress it more, but there is just a piece of me that feels like just to remind you that this is the last month of 2021 and you have the power to make this your best month yet. And you have the power to completely leave everything that just didn't work for you. Any relationship that you are just, that was another thing when you were talking about relationships. It was very aligned also with what's going on with astrology. So, I'm not going to go too far into it, but let's just say there is going to be a lot of reflection of relationships. Any exes that may show up for you towards the end of this month into the beginning of next year. Keep your eyes open if they are someone that you do not want to continue working with. Leave it. If there's any even old opportunities of just job opportunities or things that can provide you money, it sounds tempting, but it's not what your soul really wants, but your ego is trying to trick you into believing that that's what you want to do. Be very wise with your investments of what you are investing your time in, your energy in, your love in, your body, your sex. Like all of this is all the same energy and it manifests within each other. Okay. So the person that you are choosing to receive from in any way, whether it's a job, if it's a boss, if it's a lover, if it's anything above that has to do with you are receiving, you are exchanging energy with this person. Be very wise with your commitments and wise with your investments because you will absolutely have a lot of reflections at the end of this month into the beginning of next year. That's going to show you a lot of old patterns, previous versions of yourself. And it's going to basically ask you to choose. Are you going to choose of your highest, of where you're going, of where you want to be long term? Or are you going to choose a quick fix? Are you going to choose a quick orgasm? Are you going to choose a quick, just text? I could just do it once and I can get away with it. That's temptation. We're releasing that all of 2022 into 2023. Okay. Don't get sucked into the old patterns. All right. When it comes to anyone who is interested in working with me, if you are pulled to the mastermind, I really would love to have you in there. If you are someone who's like, I don't even know anything about my birth chart, I don't know if I can just, commit to an astrology mastermind before I at least get to know my birth chart first, please let me know. I have a deal right now. This is something that I wasn't really expecting to talk about, but I will absolutely just put it in here. I have a deal right now. I'll put the link in here that I have a 2022 astrology reading. It was a Cyber Monday deal that was $100 off. Okay. It's basically showing you your entire next year. What is coming up? What cycles are you in? What are you coming up against? How to navigate the entire year based off of your birth chart and based off the chart for 2022. Astrology goes very, very deep. Okay. So within that, I can help you in that regards. It also includes a 12-month Oracle card reading, and it's only $150 right now because it's $100 off. Yeah, it's $100 off. So if you are interested in even just receiving a 2022 astrology reading, just to get to understand what's coming up for you personally before you think about entering a mastermind with me, let me know. That offer absolutely will stand. I'll drop the link in the chat box so you have it. But other than that, I'm just blessed and happy that everyone came and tuned in. Thank you for hanging out with us. And if you want to follow me, please follow me. Let's stay connected. Here, let me just find that thing for them.
There's a question that came. I don't know if you want to answer this or not. What about marriages? That's a tricky one. And also, I remember you, love. I remember you.
Yeah.
What would you
Yeah, that's tricky. So listen, this is what I'm going to say. I'm not going to give any suggestions of when it comes to like contracts and marriages without actually looking at someone's chart to have a more in-depth understanding of what's going on. But I will say that when it comes to a Venus retrograde that we are coming up against, and I apologize, I'm actually just grabbing my link, so I'm not actually looking at this right now. But when it comes to, oh no, there it is. Sorry. When it comes to Venus retrograde, basically what I want to say is that you will absolutely, there it is, copy. Thank you. Sorry. Sometimes I don't know how to multitask.
I don't either.
Okay, there you go. That is for the 2022 reading. When it comes to a Venus retrograde, it's either going to make or break a relationship. That's pretty much all I have to say about that. I'm not telling you that I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that it can make or break a relationship, or at least give you the clues and the insights and what you need to make a decision, whether you're going to stay and make it work or if you are going to choose differently. It is 1,000,000% on you. You always have free will. The astrology chart will literally just tell you what cycle you're in and what possibilities could come, but you are always the one in charge of your fate. Okay? Always.
I'm sending love to you, girl. I remember you. Hi. Oh, thank you, Danielle. This was very fun.
This was awesome. Yeah.
Make sure you're here tomorrow. Not here. Make sure you have the Zoom link for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's in the Moon Rising Circle cover photo. And if you opted in already, it's also, if you go to Google Calendar and literally click the date and time, it will literally have, I keep saying literally, it will have the Zoom. I can't help it.
I know.
It will have the Zoom link. So have the Zoom link in advance. It's 11 a.m. EST, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We're going to go wild. That's all I got to say. We're going to go wild.
I love it.
And as mentioned, if you want the early bird pricing for one final day, get in my inbox and type Danielle.
That's me.
Okay. Love you. Signing off. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been so fun.
So much fun. We're doing it so many more times. Expect to see more of us. Bye.
Bye.